tell them to go away. And we'll get all our friends around us and we'll sing a song together.
Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we'll be looking at TV episodes that weren't particularly notable when broadcast, but have since become deeply distressing in hindsight.
I did notice that very kindly they'd produce an ashtray. So, carry on.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Number 10, Russell Brand interview, Newsnight. Most things Russell Brand has been in are difficult to watch.
But is it true you don't even vote?
Yeah, no, I don't vote.
With the recent news stories, they've become even less pleasant viewing experiences. So pretty much everything he's been in fits the criteria of our list. We decided to go for his Newsnight interview, where he goes on a fairly bizarre political rant.
I'm not voting out of absolute indifference and weariness and exhaustion from the lies, treachery, deceit of the political class that has been going on for generations now.
For those unaware, in the 2020s, he was accused of spreading misinformation on YouTube. For instance, he once sold a $250 magical amulet that shields you from electromagnetic fields. A follow-up article published by Brand said the governments only care about the dollar and the pound, which is ironic given how many scam goods he allegedly peddles.
But until then, don't bother. Why pretend? Why be complicit in this ridiculous illusion?
Number 9, Hopkins' honourable moments. The Apprentice. You might be familiar with Katie Hopkins because of the extremely controversial things she constantly says. For instance, after the Manchester bombings, she tweeted that we, quote, need a final solution. Hopkins rose to fame after starring on The Apprentice in 2007.
Christina is a total arse coverer. Whenever there's an issue, she tries to cover her arse.
She almost made it into the final, but decided to honourably step down during the second to last week.
I think it's more important that I have the courtesy to get my plans in place first, and therefore I suggest I stand down.
The reason was to care for her daughters. Now that she's more or less a professional troll, it feels a lot less impressive. Even Lord Alan Sugar says he feels much less sympathy for her now than during The Apprentice.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Margaret.
Number 8, Langam email scandal. The Thick of It. Few will refute the claim that The Thick of It is one of the best political satires in British history. Unfortunately, its first 2 seasons are entirely tainted by the presence of Chris Langam.
Terry, I love doing things the right way, that ethical stuff. I love it. I mean, we all do.
For a while, he was considered one of the best English comedy actors. The reason no one thinks this anymore is because in 2007, he was convicted after police found heinous content on his computer. Out of all his episodes, his final one is potentially the worst to rewatch.
Well, unwittingly, I didn't tell the entire truth. You lied.
In it, he accidentally sends a cruel message to an 8-year-old girl. After national outrage, Langam's character lies instead of admitting to his mistake.
My statement was unintentionally not a truthful statement. I slightly misled the
Completely misled.
Well, I misled the committee, and I've apologised for that.
Number 7, Scofield coming out this morning. In 2020, before the huge scandal got Scofield kicked off this morning, he decided to come out as gay. The nation responded with widespread support for Scofield for doing something so difficult on national television.
I will sit here and say, actually, I'm proud of myself today.
Well, he wouldn't remain in the public's good books for long. In 2023, it turned out he'd had an affair with a young co-worker before leaving his wife. Scofield admitted he'd lied about the relationship to tons of his co-workers, friends, and family. He then resigned from ITV and apologized.
I was older. I should have known better. I shouldn't have done it.
Now, in hindsight, it looks like he was trying to get ahead of the tabloids, but it didn't save him in the end.
You, me, and all of us at This Morning gave our love and support to someone who was not telling the truth.
Number 6, Iranian woman. The IT crowd. You'd struggle to find a comedy writer who has fallen from grace as hard as Graham Linehan has. He wrote the wildly popular sitcoms Father Ted, Black Books, and of course, The IT Crowd. One episode that stained the legacy of the latter was The Speech. For those unfamiliar, it has a plot surrounding a man dating a trans woman.
I'm really sorry. I hope you don't feel I deceived you. I understand if you would rather I left.
I don't care.
The joke is that when she told him she used to be a man, he heard from Iran.
You used to be a man.
Yes!
Oh, God!
When he realizes the truth, the pair have a fight in one of the worst displays of transphobia in TV history. When Channel 4 pulled it in 2020, Linehan caused a huge fuss, and now spends most of his time complaining on Twitter.
It's over, April!
Number 5, Dawn Barry, Come Dine With Me. There's been a wide range of personalities on Come Dine With Me over the years. Contestants range from being downright cruel to instantly lovable. One contestant who fell into the latter category was Dawn Barry, who was once voted the best ever contestant by fans.
It's broke, isn't it?
She was great fun throughout the whole competition, making for a memorable lineup. On her night, Barry drank a bit too much and retired early, letting another contestant finish the cooking.
She wanted to go to bed. She didn't want to be with us.
No.
And go to bed she does, leaving Nigel no other option but to cook her main course for her.
It turned out she was struggling with severe alcohol use disorder and depression. This became public knowledge in 2013 when Barry tragically took her own life, making her TV appearance beyond sad to watch.
5th place, we have our lovely Dawn.
Number 4, Mike Thalassitis goes dating. Love Island. Thalassitis was originally a footballer but rose to prominence after starring on Love Island in Series 3. While on the island, he earned the nickname Muggy Mike, which he always hated.
If everybody was single, I still go for them too.
Tragically, he chose to end his own life in 2019 after being in a dark place for a long time. This makes it highly upsetting to rewatch his episodes from reality TV. One specifically difficult watch is the episode where Olivia Atwood breaks up with him.
No, but you said you'd give it 100%, and you definitely didn't give me that.
He's not the only Love Island star to take their life, which makes the entire series pretty disturbing.
And you're not going to struggle, are you?
Well, I hope not.
No, you won't.
I think I'll be alright.
I think you'll be fine.
Number 3, Gary Glitter's performance, Top of the Pops. It's quite easy to forget Glitter was once a rock star rather than just an international thug. The despicable life he's led makes all his songs and public appearances extremely unsettling. Jimmy Savile's regular hosting already made Top of the Pops pretty cursed, but the appearance of Glitter makes it even worse. Not only did he perform on the show 31 times, but he hosted it on 3 separate occasions.
And on tonight's show, the number 1 is Peter Andre. There is no Oasis, you'll get that later.
Thankfully, the BBC has stopped screening all episodes featuring the despicable duo, so you'll need to go out of your way to watch them, and really, why would you bother? Number 2, Rolf Harris on Consent. Kids Can Say No. Few media personalities have inflicted as much suffering as Harris did during his decades-long career. It all became public knowledge after Jimmy Savile's death, which got Harris sentenced to 5 years and 9 months in prison.
There were no words, no reaction, and no apology.
This had made everything he appeared in quite challenging to watch. Potentially the worst creation he was featured in was Kids Can Say No from 1985. It was made to educate children on how to escape perilous situations.
But sometimes people do things to one another which don't make them feel good.
Unfortunately, as we all now know, Rolf Harris was one of the worst choices imaginable. One of the children involved said his arrest was unsurprising, since he'd been creepy towards older girls during filming.
You run your own body, let me run mine.
Number 1, Savile's attempts at comedy. Have I got news for you? Now that Harris is out of the way, it's time to discuss a similarly evil man, Jimmy Savile.
With Ian Hislop tonight is a former professional wrestler who lost 100 of his 107 contests, so it's only fitting that he should be on Ian's team. Jimmy Savile.
One of his most overtly creepy appearances was on the panel show Have I Got News For You. The whole time he was making eerie jokes, which made for a sinister episode, even before his crimes were public.
You used to be a wrestler, didn't you? Is that right?
I still am.
Oh, yeah.
I'm feared in every girls' school in this country.
On the bright side, it's one of the few episodes that'll never be broadcast on television, alongside everything else Jimmy was involved in. At least there were no children present like on Jim'll Fix It.
What do you do in the caravan?
Anybody I can lay my hands on.
Were there any especially challenging episodes to watch that we forgot to mention? Let us know in those comments below.